bringing her in to see you in a moment, Mr. Harden.
Thank you.
She has agreed to see you, but I just wanted a quiet word with you first. She doesn't normally receive visitors. In fact, in the 6 years that I've been here, she has never had a visitor.
Really?
That is why I have arranged for you to meet in this room rather than the common visiting area.
Oh, right. I appreciate that.
Yes, well, I thought you might like the privacy.
Yes.
In case you had private matters to discuss.
Right. She doesn't have any visitors?
Oh, don't worry. She gets along fine with all the other clients and staff and is generally very sociable. As a matter of fact, she may be the most popular client in the facility. It's only that I'm not certain how she'll be with someone from the outside. She just hasn't had contact for so long with any people that are not involved with the facility and this here.
Well, I'm not here to upset anyone.
Certainly not. Your application to visit was processed, and it appears that, as it has been accepted, you are entirely suitable to see her.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sure I've been researched fairly thoroughly.
Yes.
I applied 6 weeks ago.
6 weeks? Well, I suppose that was because it is so unusual for her to have a visitor.
Oh. Why is that exactly?
Well, it has been a long time, but years ago, apparently, the majority of the people who were not relatives wanting to visit were reporters and writers trying to get her story. As I say, it was before my time. But those types of visitors, indeed, any who are not on the initial list of friends and family, have to apply, and only the client decides to see them or not.
Yeah, well, I'm not a reporter.
Yes, well, that was many years ago. Have you known her a long time?
I don't know her at all.
You don't know her?
Never met her. Don't even know what she looks like.
So you're family?
No.
But a distant relative? Friend of a friend?
No.
You're not a reporter?
No.
You're not a writer?
No.
Filmmaker? Any sort of journalist?
No.
I just hope you're not a lawyer. She has had enough of lawyers.
No. Sales.
Excuse me?
I'm in sales. I'm a manufacturer's representative. I sell parts for transport vehicles from various manufacturers.
Oh. Truck parts?
Yes.
You do know who it is you're here to see.
Well, yes, Miss Longcastle.
Right.
Well, it is Miss Longcastle you're going to be bringing in here, right?
Oh, yes, yes. I'm sorry, Mr. Harden. I just wasn't expecting a stranger, someone who is not known to her, to be visiting with her history.
Her history?
Pardon? Oh, nothing. I just realized that you don't know anything about her or her history, do you?
No, should I?
Oh, no. It really has no relevance, I suppose. I just assumed.
Are you going to tell me?
Of course not, Mr. Harden. There are privacy issues, privacy laws. I would never do that in any case.
Of course not.
Of course not. I'll go and get her now, shall I?
Great. Yeah, great.
Very well.
Great.
Oh, Mr. Harden, one thing. If you don't know anything about her, I must caution you not to get her too excited. This has nothing to do with her past, you understand? It's strictly a medical issue. All right?
Sure, sure.
Good. Here we are, Mr. Harden. I hope you'll have a nice visit.
I'm sure we will.
Yes. Well, I'll just leave you alone then.
Right.
Right. Well, you just let me know when you wish to leave. I'll just be down the hall.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. So long.
Bye.
See you later.
Hello.
Hi there.
I'm Ken Harden.
Yes, Mr. Harden. I assumed that you were.
You received my letters.
Yes, I received your letters saying that you wanted to see me, that it was a family matter, that you thought we should meet face to face.
And here we are.
And here you are. I'm always here.
Right. Let's see, where to begin? Your son.
My son? My son? Are you here about my son?
Well, yes, I mean, no.
Well, which is it? I had no idea you'd come here about my son. I haven't seen my son in years.
Well, no, I'm here about you, but you do have a son, right?
Yes. Yes, I suppose I have a son.
Well, that's sort of what I've come to see you about.
Sort of. I thought that one of my relatives had died or something, or maybe you had a message from my sister. God knows she would never step in here herself. But my son. My God, is he all right?
Oh, he's fine. He's great. In fact, he's getting married, Miss Longcastle.
Married?
Yes, to my daughter. That's what I've come to see you about.
You came to tell me that your daughter is marrying my son.
Well, yes, that and...
I think you could just put that in the letter. My son doesn't need my permission to get married, you know. I mean, he's what, 27? Well, he will be 27 at the end of next month.
Well, no, that's not exactly why I came, Miss Longcastle.
Well, I can't stop him from marrying your daughter either.
No, that's not it.
Oh. Oh, I get it. She has to get married, right?
No, Miss Longcastle, she definitely does not have to get married.
All right. Just a shot in the dark.
I get it.
Oh, come on. I've lightened up. Why don't you? And while you're at it, just tell me what it is you're here about.
Fine. Your son is going to marry my daughter.
Right. You said that.
And they seem to be...
When?
What's that?
When? When are they getting married?
Oh, a month and a half. Yes, a month and a half.
Well, that's pretty soon.
Yes, that's why I wanted to see you. I tried to see you right away. I applied 6 weeks ago.
What is that, 6 weeks or 7?
Well, I just said I applied to see you 6 weeks ago.
When they're getting married. You said a month and a half.
Oh, yes. Let's see. Today is Wednesday. They're getting married on a Saturday, so that'll be 6 weeks from this Saturday.
Oh, yeah. That is pretty soon.
Yes, that's why I wanted to see you.
You think they should wait?
What? No. I only meant I would have seen you. I wanted to see you sooner, but now there's only 6 weeks left, Mrs. Longcastle.
Oh, call me Barbie.
What?
Call me Barbie. It's what all my friends call me, Barbie. Since I was about 9 years old, I guess. Call me Barbie. I hate Ms. Lonecastle. And Mrs. Lonecastle. And Mr. Lonecastle, for that matter.
All right. Barbie.
And I'll call you Ken, if that's okay.
Sure.
Oh, no.
What?
Ken and Barbie. Barbie and Ken, that's funny.
Pardon?
You know Barbie and Ken, the dolls? I had them as a little girl.
Oh, right.
I haven't thought of them in years. I never thought of being one of them. Not with my life. Now I am one. And you're the other. Just a couple of living dolls.
Yes. So my daughter is going to marry your son.
Puppets,
And they,
really.
What?
Ken and Barbie. Barbie and Ken. Puppets. You know, the way you're supposed to move them around, bend them, set them up, all that. At least I think you were supposed to.
I suppose so.
Well,
Yes.
Your daughter, she's going to marry my son?
Yes, that's what I've come to see you about.
Okay.
They're going to be married 6 weeks from this Saturday.
So I understand, Ken, but don't you think that's a bit soon? Maybe they should wait a bit.
Wait.
Yes. Sometimes young people tend to rush into these things.
They're not that young.
Maybe, but you know what I mean. A bit of a waiting period can sometimes solidify a relationship.
They've been engaged for almost 2 years.
Oh,
No, I only meant that I would have seen you sooner. I would have notified you sooner. But, well, I didn't know where you were. Well, look, truth be told, I didn't know about you at all.
yes. Yes, of course.
And when I did manage to look you up, I wrote to you and tried to see you right away.
Yes. Thank you.
Well, so, it's going to be quite the wedding. Traditional, you know, with everything. We're going to have the wedding breakfast, the ceremony, the reception, the dancing, you know, all of that.
Sounds nice. Sounds expensive.
Well, you know.
You paying for all this, Ken? I hope you haven't come here to see if I can kick in, because they don't pay all that well here.
No, I wasn't thinking of, no.
What do you do, Ken? Whatever it is, you must be pretty good at it. These weddings can be costly, I understand.
Well, I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, I do okay. I like to think I'm an average guy. I have a sales company. It represents a variety of manufacturers in the transport industry.
Truck parts?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, those can be expensive, I know.
Well, like everything else.
Yes. Everything has a price, doesn't it, Ken?
Yes, but I'm not here to ask you to contribute. I mostly just wanted to talk to you about it.
Mostly?
Well, you know, about
Yes.
about the possibility
Right. The possibility...
of your attending.
Attending?
Yes, I wondered if you might like to come to the wedding.
You thought of this yourself?
Well, sort of.
Again, sort of. Did my son have anything to do with it?
Actually, no, it was my daughter.
Your daughter.
Yes, you see, she really loves your son.
Sounds like a pretty good reason for marriage.
And she really wants him to be happy.
That's sweet. And you both thought having me attend their wedding would make him happy?
Well,
And you thought I could just grab my coat and purse and jump into the car with you?
Well, no, of course not.
Did you know that I haven't seen my son in over 20 years? That he's never been here? That I haven't had so much as a phone call or a postcard from him in that 20 years?
Well, actually, yes.
Maybe you'd better explain this to me. Here's what I'm hearing. You think that I should attend your daughter's wedding to my son, who I haven't seen or heard from in over 20 years, so that it will make him happy?
Right. But there's more to it than that.
Really?
Yes, you see, my daughter and I are pretty close.
Isn't that nice?
And as I said, she really loves your son. And she came to me one day because she was concerned about him. And, you know, and here they were engaged and ready to start this wonderful life together. And she was worried about your son.
You don't think I know anything about it, do you? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even know him, remember? The little that I do know has been through other people. Barbie, he graduated. Barbie, he got a job. Barbie, he's not in jail.
Look, I understand that. But my daughter, she came to me because she had these concerns about your son because, well, he has nightmares.
Nightmares?
Really bad nightmares, apparently.
What does your daughter look like?
I'll let that go.
Sorry. I couldn't. You get like that in here?
Okay,
These nightmares. Any idea what they're about?
well, from what he told her, they've been going on a long time. Actually, I guess he can't remember not ever having them. Apparently doesn't get a lot of sleep. They always begin in a place like, the woods, alleyway, a car, all dark places really. And there's this sense of a presence and a foreboding, like something's coming after him.
And he's all alone?
Well, that's another thing. From what he told her, and she understands because he talks in his sleep, he doesn't know who or what, but there's someone or something that he talks to that he can't see, like an invisible friend. I thought that was particularly frightening, only having an invisible friend to talk to when some devil beast is closing in on you. At least that's the way it sounded to me.
Devil beast?
Yeah, this beast is getting closer and closer. And suddenly he feels like he's falling and falling, and then he feels like he's about to die. And then he suddenly wakes up. And my daughter, she says that it's really pretty bad. She says that he often wakes up crying.
Your daughter told you all this?
Yeah, like I said, we're pretty close. She's always come to me ever since she was a little girl and talked things out with me. Things that bothered her, and I've listened and always tried to make things better for her. You know the deal it is between parents and kids, right?
Between dads and daughters, I think.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it is a dads and daughters thing. Anyway, so there we were, planning the ceremony, picking out the flowers, making all the arrangements, and my daughter, she comes to me with these concerns about your son. Anyway, it bothered me. He hadn't said much about his family, and well, then he told my daughter that his mother was here, that you were here. And I thought, maybe this was an opportunity for the two of you, to reconcile, to get back together, in a happy situation, a positive situation.
And then he'd be all better.
Well, I don't know. I thought it might help.
And your daughter would know that Daddy had tried his best.
I don't know. Maybe.
What does he do?
For a living?
Yes, for a living. What's his job?
He has his own business. He started it right after business college.
He went to business college?
Yeah, that's where he and my daughter met. He aced it, apparently.
Huh. What kind of business?
Sporting goods. Specializing in items having to do with anything with a net, basketball, hockey, lacrosse, soccer. He trades some high-end used gear as well. It's mostly online, but he's also got some stores.
Online? You mean like the internet?
Yeah, do you have access here?
Some. What's it called?
Netgear Net. It's really pretty big. He's a smart kid. You should be proud.
Oh, I am.
So, what do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah.
You mean about your idea of me attending their wedding?
Yes. I've checked it all out. From what they told me, you should be able to get a day pass, maybe even a weekend pass with your record. They said it shouldn't be any problem at all. It's just up to you.
They said that, did they?
Yes. Apparently you're really well liked here. And I could handle all the details, pick you up, bring you back. What do you say? It's just up to you.
I appreciate what you're trying to do, Ken,
Thanks.
but I don't think it will work.
You don't want to go to your son's wedding?
Well, that's not really the point.
Actually, it is. If you want to go, you should go.
Ken, what do you know about me, and my boy, for that matter?
Well, like I said, not that much. I mean, I've spoken a lot with your son. They come over on the weekends, and we vacation together. I've spent time with the two of them and with him, and they're great together, by the way. And he's a great guy. And I am a pretty good judge of character. After all, I am in sales. And I wouldn't let them marry if I didn't think he wasn't a good person and good for her.
Okay. What about me?
Well, Barbie, I know you may think I'm naive or something. I think this is just some kind of boarding house that you're in. But I can assure you, I know that you're not here just because you were caught jaywalking or refused to pay a bus fare.
So what do you know?
Well, they told me that you've been in here for over 21 years. They couldn't say much, but they did say that it was the first time for you. That also means it was a long time ago. Also, the lady that let me in here told me that you were probably the most popular inmate in here.
Client.
What?
Client, not inmate. Not anymore.
Oh, okay. Most popular client. And your son's father, Mr. Longcastle, he died, am I right?
You're right about Mr. Lonecastle. He's been dead a while.
Well, so adding it all up, Mr. Longcastle, I'm guessing, didn't get along with kids, or maybe he wasn't very good with your son. Well, you did something you're not too proud of, but that was a long time ago, and he's dead, and I thought, here's a chance for the two of you and your son, to reconcile, to get back together, at a happy occasion.
So you decided to tell me about it. You drove all the way out here for what, 45 minutes to
No,
get
it's
here?
an
So you
hour. Traffic's gotten really bad.
Ooh, an hour? You drove an hour to get here, to invite me to this wedding, and you don't know shit about me.
What?
You heard me. You don't really know me at all. You made up this little story in your mind in order to make everything nicey nice for your daughter. But you know diddly frigging squat about me or my boy. Or me and my boy.
Hey,
It's
come
true,
on.
isn't it? You didn't really come out here for me. You came for your daughter, maybe. For my son, maybe. But really, you're here for yourself. You'll just make everything all better, and you'll be a hero, and all is right with the world.
Hey, that's not fair.
Life's not fair, Ken. Look at me. Look around. You think you know life? You think you know me? Let me tell you, Ken, you get around all right, but not enough to know what really goes on in the world. Try spending a couple of decades in a place like this. And this is a nice place. Oh, you thought I was always here, didn't you? No, it doesn't start out that way. You start out at the bottom of the heap in a real hole. And if you're really good and don't step out of line or do anything they don't want you to, or anything the others that are in with you don't want you to, and you might, after a few years, get into the position to have a nicer roommate or a nicer cell or eventually go to a nicer place. And so it goes over the years until you're more or less beaten and tired and old. And that's when you understand that it took all that time and that scrabbling for a favor or a better existence. That was your life. And there's not much left anymore. Actually, it might not be all that different for you after all, hey Ken? What was I trying to say?
I think you were trying to say that none of this is any of my business.
No, I don't think that I was. Maybe, but not really. I think I'm trying to say that you don't know, Ken. You just don't know anything about me, about this place, about my son. But that's okay. I don't think I do either. What does any of us know, hey, Ken?
Well, it was worth a try.
A try? Are you giving up?
Well, it doesn't seem likely you'll be attending.
Oh, I don't know. There's a few things that would have to be worked out.
You think it might happen?
Something might happen.
What sort of things need to be worked out?
Well, other than the obvious that you've mentioned, the permission and who they would have tagging along with me, transportation for one. I don't have any. Clothes. I have nothing to wear. A gift. I have nothing to give them.
Look, as far as permission goes, from what they've indicated to me, that shouldn't be an issue. As far as clothing goes, give me your measurements and I'll get whatever it is you want. Transportation, like I said, I can come by, pick you up early on the day and bring you back. And then as far as a gift, well, I think your attending would be the best gift that you could give them.
You think that, do you?
Yes, I do.
What will your wife say?
My wife?
Or your daughter's mother? When assume she has a mother to go along with the father.
No, not anymore. She passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry. My condolences.
That's all right. You couldn't know.
No, I guess not.
It was when my daughter was a little girl.
Oh, that explains a lot.
What's that?
You heard me. Never remarried?
No, being a single parent just seemed to keep me way too busy.
Yes. You did it all for your daughter, right?
Well, you know, I tried my best.
We always think we're doing things for others, for the benefit of others, but we never do. We're always doing things for ourselves. Always for ourselves. Why else would you be playing the hero? I bet you're really proud of yourself.
What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about. Take me, for example. Everyone has always thought that I have to be redeemed by letting me know that what I did was justified, that I did it for my son.
What you did?
Yes. Why I'm here? You must have wondered. You probably thought, oh, she killed someone to protect her son, so it's justifiable. Maybe it was an accident. She's really a good person inside. She just needs something nice to happen to her.
And there's no truth in any of that?
Of course not. We do everything for ourselves. It's what drives us. Our insatiable selfishness. If we ever actually do something that is truly for others, we perish. We wither up and die.
You don't believe that?
Of course I do. It's true. This is refreshing. You see, Ken, I can tell it the way it is. I can be myself. I have nothing to lose with you. You're an outsider. I've waited ages to tell the real truth about things. You see, I didn't do anything to help my son or anyone else but me. That's how I've survived. What do you think of that? What do you think happened to land me in here?
I don't know. They wouldn't tell me much about what happened. They
No, they won't. That wouldn't help to justify my redemption. Now, everyone thinks that I must have killed someone, a burglar, a husband, someone who was going to kill my son. A real mama bear.
And you didn't?
Oh, I killed someone all right. Did it really well, too. Not my husband, no. He just died crashing his car after drinking a few too many. No, I was just left a widow with nothing. You see, we married young. I was pregnant. The usual boring story of that time. He was useless at earning a living. I was too proud to ask for help from the families, and he was too stupid. So I find myself a widow. Without a job, not much education, and not much experience.
Look, that sounds rough, but you seem pretty intelligent to me.
Yeah, right. Any education I have, I got in here. Yeah. History, mathematics, philosophy, psychology. I took all the courses. Can you believe that? I'll really be able to put that to good use, won't I? Anyway, I was a widow. And I couldn't cope. I took the coward's way and hooked up with pretty much the first guy I thought could give me a hand. Are you getting this?
I'm listening.
Good. I didn't think about my son. There were other ways I could have managed the situation. Help from family, friends, support groups. I don't know. It just seemed easier to get someone else to take some of the load. Easier for me. I didn't really think about my son. Opposite of you. Same driving force. Different result.
Look, I don't think that's...
No, you probably don't. You see, you decided to be a martyr and grew up to be a hero. I decided to get someone else to be the hero. Lazy and coward. At least you weren't lazy.
Look, I think you've got that
Anyway,
wrong.
things weren't bad to begin with. He was a bit of a jerk. But then you all are to some extent. And then things got worse. And then worse. And then much worse. He hit me. Often. Then it became regular beatings.
Oh, Barbie.
Don't owe Barbie! I could have left. Got help. Just left. But I didn't. I did the selfish thing. I couldn't take it anymore. But I wouldn't help myself. I just stayed and brooded and let the rage build in me. He came at me again one night, and this time I was ready. I never said that in court, of course. That would be premeditation. But I was. And he never knew what hit him. Messy. But effective. That problem was solved. But the real problem was that my son was in the room. I didn't know it. He was toddling around and hid himself behind the curtains. He was holding his little stuffed bear that he talks to when things get rough. He saw the whole bloody thing. Very bloody. He didn't make any noise. When I noticed him and approached him, he put up his hands to protect himself, to keep me away, to keep me away. I must have been quite a sight. Then he ran away fast and fell down the stairs. By the time I got to him, the place was full of people. All the screaming brings him around pretty fast, and there'd been a lot of screaming. You see? I was the beast. I am the beast.
But surely
Then
that...
I told the authorities and everyone else that I was protecting him. It's what they wanted to hear. Still ended up in this place. Deserved to. I've been doing the whole sentence too. Never once applied for parole.
Why not? I mean, after a long time, that sure...
Same reason, really. Selfish. Lazy. It was just easier to stay in. You get to know the rules. They feed you every day, you have a place to sleep at night, they keep you busy, there's people to talk to. It's a society. And it's safe. And then you come along and talk to me about your daughter and my son.
I just didn't realize the situation.
The situation that you deprived your daughter from having a mother, or that I deprived my son from having any parents at all?
I didn't deprive my daughter from
Didn't
everything.
you?
No. She had a great childhood. I did what I felt like I had to do to give her a stable life, a secure life. It was completely different than your situation.
Really? I came here. You made your own prison and put a little room in it for your daughter while you were at it.
What are you talking about? My daughter had a great childhood. She's a strong and independent person. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but I think I've done a good job of raising my child.
As opposed to me? That's what you mean, isn't it, Ken? But I disagree. You think you did everything for her, but you just did what was safe for you, out of fear. You were just as afraid as I've been. You wouldn't give your daughter another mother, and you wouldn't give yourself a partner because you had to be the hero, the only hero in your daughter's life.
It wasn't like that at all. I was always thinking of her, and she's turned out great.
Yes, and I've been here, and yet you tell me that my son has turned out great as well. I rid my child of bad influences, and so do you. Apparently, I'm a hero too.
Look, I don't want to discuss this any longer. I didn't come here to open up old wounds or to discuss some inane philosophy about why we do the things we do or have done. I just came here to see if you wanted to come to their wedding to make their event happier.
Well, I wanted to talk about it, Ken. I do. And you came here to see me, to speak with me. And you're an outsider. Maybe things are never as simple as you'd like them to be. But you should know better, Ken. After all, you are in sales.
Well,
Maybe not such a great idea to contact the boy's mother. They're never what you expect.
I should go.
You do give up easily for a man in sales, don't you?
Well, it doesn't seem that you want to think about it.
Come back in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Come back in 2 weeks, and I'll try to have something for you. You didn't mention this to my son, did you?
No, I haven't said anything to anyone.
Good. Don't mention it to anyone, clear?
Sure.
Come back in 2 weeks, and I'll try to have something for you.
Okay.
But
All right, I will. I'll be back in 2 weeks.
the fact is, Ken, that people need people. That's what it's all about. The most heroic thing you've done for your daughter is to let her marry my son. You're giving her up to someone else and you'll be alone. That's your real gift to her. Now, I have to think of a gift for my son.
All right.
Ken,
Yes.
it really was a pleasure to meet with you, to speak to an outsider. But more than that, Ken, who knows? Maybe if things had all been different for each of us, maybe even you and I would have been good together. After all, we're Barbie and Ken.
Yeah, right.
We tried to contact you before you left, but it was too late. You were gone.
I know, it was my fault. I'm sorry, I should have been paying more attention to the charge on my mobile.
Well, you'll find a message on it.
Right. So what's the problem exactly? She can't see me?
Well, you know that I asked that you not get her too excited the last time that you were here. Well, that was because we knew she had a condition with her heart. Of course, only she and her doctors knew the extent of it. We were just told the general situation and to try to ensure that she not get too excited or do anything too strenuous. Well, we all really liked her here, so we tried our best to keep her calm, to just relax.
Right.
Well, Mr. Harden, there's no easy way to put this. She passed away in her sleep. They think it was early this morning.
What?
Yes. I'm sorry to have to tell you like this. We really don't understand it. She seemed fine. We're all very upset here. So sad.
She died.
Yes. It was almost as if she knew something might happen. As if she came to me a few days ago. We were quite friendly, you see, and gave me this note to give to you in case she wasn't well enough or didn't wish to see you, she said.
Can you read it for me, please?
All right. If you think so. Ken, if you have received this, you know that I won't be attending the event. I've given it all the thought that it deserves and decided that this is the best result. You won't have to worry about clothes or flowers or transport where I am concerned. You will have to take the time to explain to him that the beast is gone and won't come back. The nightmares will stop now. I'm certain of that. This is the best gift that I could give to both of them. Barbie. Strange. I guess you must know what she meant. It's such a shame. She was the sweetest client here. It's also very sad. You know, all that she ever did was to try to protect her son.
You know, I think she did.